I was thinking about why I flipped on my feelings for Donald Trump. And it's very complicated, as most, poll shifts are with a human being. It's very complicated. There was a lot of things that just didn't add up to the point where, I could get behind this. And the funny thing is it came in stages, much like, growing usually does. When he was president, you know, in 2016, I didn't like him because I had this being somebody that grew up during the Cold War and watching Ronald Reagan. I had this idea that the president is supposed to be a solemn, regal, serious go getter man, and Trump to me was like the rude asshole from The Apprentice. Like I hated. I'd never watched that show. The one time I watched it, that was like I'm never watching this again. Like it was just bad. I hate reality shows in the first place, and well, not all reality shows. I like watching Hell's Kitchen and Hotel Hell or whatever with Gordon Ramsay. For some reason, I find those entertaining. Probably mostly because he cooks food in all of them, and I just food. Oh, that looks good. So that's probably why I like those shows. But I don't usually like reality shows. Anyway, I didn't like him while he was president. And then Biden became president. And boy, did I not like Biden at all. He's been a dick the entire time he was in the Senate. When he was a vice president is the only time he ever kept his fucking mouth shut. His 8 years as vice president was the least time he talked because he usually just said stupid bullshit for like 50 years. And I definitely didn't like Kamala because nobody voted for her. Nobody voted for her to be president. Nobody voted for her to be vice president. Nobody voted for her to be the candidate. I understand how it goes. Like nobody voted for Gerald Ford. I get it. He wasn't on the ticket when Nixon was elected. He replaced a vice president, and then he became president. Nobody voted for him, so I get that's how it works. But still, I didn't like her either. And I just saw the hypocrisy of everything I ever been taught since I was born through the 80s and 90s. The Democratic Party is telling me is untrue, and I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. And it all started with Common Core math, trying to make math harder than it actually had to be. And I suck at math, and they were making it like into like calculus. It's like this 2 plus 2 does not need to be calculus. You could count that on your hand. I have 2 fingers. I add 2 fingers. I have four. Done. It doesn't need to be, well, if you break down the two and it's one and then one and then you add the one here to the one down here and the one up here to the one down here, then you'll get two. And when you get two, you break it down again. So now you've got one here and three here. How? Just 2 plus 2 is 4. You can do it on your hand. Doesn't need fucking calculus. So, and then Trump ran again, and at that point, I was so disenfranchised with the Democratic Party because they were hypocrites. They were hypocrites about, uh, uh, my body, my choice. But then you have to get the jab to participate in life. And then once you get and everybody was saying, I don't know about this. It hasn't been tested. And they were like, you have to get the jab or else you have to stay inside for 2 years. And then you get the jab so you could go outside. And then 2 more years later, you find out that like I found out I went to get my second shot and I found out and I was like, why do you keep calling it a vaccine if I have to come in and get another shot? I only had to get I've never got polio. If you gave me one, I got one shot for polio. I've never gotten polio, so you gave me a shot for. And he's like, well, it's not a vaccine like that. And I was like, then it's a shot. It's not a vaccine. It's like the flu shot. Why do you keep calling it a vaccine? And that's when I knew that the jig was up because not even the doctors knew what was going on. They were like, well, it's technically not that. And I was like, why do everybody keep saying it's that? So even the doctors didn't know why they were jabbing us. And I just got so disenfranchised with the Democratic Party. Like they were like the people, you have flat earthers that are in the Senate. You have just racist, full on racists, race baiters. What's that? Jasmine Crockett. She is a rich girl from a rich neighborhood who went to a private school. And the moment she got elected, she started, yo, this and that, dog, yo, 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 and acting hella ghetto. That is not who she is. She is being racist on purpose because she's trying to get the black vote. That's all she cares about. She wants black people to vote for her, and that's what she thinks of you. Because she grew up rich, she's like, "Oh, I know poor black people, so I'll act like a poor black person so they vote for me." That's why I'm disenfranchised with the Democratic Party. And then you look into the past. I've done the joke before, but here's a Democrat in 1864. What do you mean they have to go? Who's going to work my farm? Who's going to watch my kids? Who's going to clean my house? Democrat in 2025. What do you mean they have to go? Who's going to work my farm? Who's going to watch my kids? Who's going to clean my house? They're hypocrites. And the day that they shot Trump, I was watching it live. I was like, and he started off as usual, which like, and I was just watching him because he was funny at this point, and I was probably going to vote for him because like I was disenfranchised with the Democrats, not because I like Trump, but I despise the Democrats at this point. And he gets shot, and then after that, everything he's done after that, he's a changed man. He seems like he likes the little guy. He seems like a nice man. He surrounds himself with children. He doesn't seem like the angry guy from TV anymore. He seems like he's grown up. Like God actually did like speak to him when that happened. Like his heart grew 10 times that day. And now I like Trump. I like what he's doing with the country. I agree with almost everything. Some things are like the tariffs thing. I don't know enough about tariffs, but it just seems I don't know if it's. I mean, he's got a point that they're charging us tariffs, and then when we said we were going to raise our tariffs, they're like, "Well, then we're going to raise our tariffs." So if it's so bad for us raising tariffs on them, why are they doing that to their own people? It just means everybody is going to be pissed off at their government. So I don't understand the why people hate the idea of tariffs if that's the case. But whatever it is, I've kind of flipped on Donald Trump. I think even though he grew up rich, he's not one of those type of people that like you see on like in royalty or something where he's just like, let them eat cake. Like he grew up rich, but he's always also grown up around construction workers and just the normal average American. And I think out of all the presidents during my lifetime, he has a better connection with those guys and people like me than any other president ever has. So that's kind of why how I flipped on Donald Trump and why I like him now.